doing this morning? I am doing well. And once again, we are here broadcasting live from my area. So lots of stuff going on here. So hi to those working in Maker Shop. Hello to Mr. Buttram. Well, the other two people that have just arrived. So yeah, the key. Posting the key. So I'll explain that. So there's a key that allows people to be able to log into the stream because I have this as an open stream. So all I was doing was posting the stream login key. So when you click on the link, it takes you right into the StreamYard's system, so that you're able to access it and get in. So it's kind of, but they call it a stream key. Don't ask me why, but that's what they do. So what's been going on with everybody? I've been doing well. Last days of summer are right around the corner, so those things do happen. Connected with an old friend via Discord, so that was kind of wonky. And editing. I'm almost finished it all, though. Actually, editing's turned out really fast. There's one episode I'm having a little issue with syncing on, but other than that, I'll have that synced properly within the next couple hours, and then I'll be able to take all this into what's known as a into well, what I gotta do is I gotta take it all, process it all. Then I gotta go through all the extra clips, all the B-roll footage, all that, sync it, get some audio from somewhere, find a song I like that works with all that, and then just put it together and then pump it out as an episode. So yeah. By insistence. And back to work. I'm talkative this AM. Okay. I'm also in the middle of figuring out my studies for my ham radio license, which is something I'm looking into getting back into. I tried to apply back when I was like 18, and I just couldn't wrap my head around most of it because at the same time, I was learning about I was learning like three different things at once. I was studying for to go into college and everything else, which didn't happen. That's another long story I can get into, but the headaches I went through in high school and college, and trying to get into college was fun. But I really do blame my school for that, for not helping me better and, try to say, hey, you have skills in this. And now what they do, now counselors are involved in what do you know, how do you do it, and they have better ways to get you more into school and everything else. Yeah, it was back in the day. It was a little bit more. It was still multiple choice, but you had to score close to 90%. They've lowered it down to 80%, which is nice. But when I was doing it, I was failing by 2 questions. I did the test twice and I failed it by 2. So I just kind of gave up and just like, you know what? Who knows what's going on? Yeah, I'm hoping so. Learning disabilities don't help though. I'll tell you that right now. When I start studying, I get very, very, very restless, and that's the problem with my high school and everything else. They didn't understand that. Hey, I'm a person with. Let me first put this on, so I'm not blowing my peas to high hell. There we go. Now I'm not blowing my peas. That I was a guy that suffers from ADHD. Pretty not severe, but severe enough. So schools did not understand that I am more of a hands-on person, that I have to be taught a different way. And I swear to this day, schools still don't understand ADHD, most teachers, because they read from a book. And that's how they're taught. You're supposed to read from this book and teach them from this book. It doesn't work that way anymore still. And a lot of teachers just don't get ADHD. It's a different type of teaching. You have to be more, not in their face, but more, what's the word I'm looking for? More different way of teaching. Yeah, it's really hard to do it. So it's hard to explain it. But if you've ever dealt with ADHD kids, you'll know that they think different, they act different, but that's just because their stuff in their brain doesn't work the same way like as most normal people do. We're more technical driven, we're more and less organized in a lot of ways, but it's how their brains think. So hi to Rover, hi to CNX. Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. I do appreciate it. Yeah, and Rover got a new printer, the Soviet SV01 3D printer giveaway. I might be interested to check out. So I put out the call for you guys. If you guys are part of our Discord, if you're not already, why not join our Discord? I mean, our Discord is pretty cool. We have a lot of fun in there. So if you're looking for, to join a fun group and chat about 3D printing, that's the best site. That's the best way to join us and become part of the crew. Become part of our team over there. I'm going back into the readings. So 73 is okay. So Cedar Woodmaker's leaving. Yep, 73 to you too. Yeah, 73 is like just basically signing off. It's like same way as signing off, but everybody uses 73. I gotta look up the reason for 73. I remember all the codes like QSL, QSL basically means come back. So yeah, it's all this. I remember QSL and all those codes. CQ, which is basically calling out. It's basically, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. So yeah, I want to get back into that because like I had fun doing my first ever field day, and that's going back about 4 or 5 years ago before everything just actually 10 years ago before everything just went whoa, came up to a head and collapsed on itself. My whole life was basically I don't want to use the word, but yeah, it was really messed. But that's what happens, right? We go through those stages where we just nothing goes right, nothing goes wrong, and everything goes wrong. I went through that for a long period of time before I was able to get myself out breathing again, and then it collapsed again even more so. So yeah. Yeah, map to best regards, my compliments. Yeah, it's still used in today for that. You're absolutely right there, Osina. Let me just post that right there, and you know. That's something I could never get is Morse code just right. And I was doing some keying tests, trying to learn it. And I was talking to somebody in Morse code using the dead dot fast keys. And I got okay, but not the best. Well, one of the hams that was my Elmer was listening to me. I was keying at his station, learning it, And he's like, "You're pretty good, but your spelling is horrendous." I'm like, I know that's something that school never taught me really good at was spelling. And he's like, huh. And he's like, part of your ADHD problem? I went, exactly. He's like, yeah. Ron's word is food bar. Yeah. It's still good to learn it. It's not that I can't spell, so I have a little bit of that problem keying the right words. But a lot of times I'll sit there and I will actually listen to these 5 to 15. Some of those keys can get up to good 15 words per minute. I'm like going, what the? Oh, wow. That is fast. And you're just listening to it and you're just listening to them like, it's like, that was a message. And then it's all of a sudden you hear a reply from another station like, oh, wow, that's fast. But it's always good to sit there, listen to it. I've listened to it on 40 meters because I got a radio that can pick up 40 meters. So sometimes I can get some good 40 meters coming in, and it's just like I'm listening to it. I'm just going, wow, that is something. And you'll be surprised. I've listened to 40 words per minute on listening to some of the repeaters when they do their on a 2-meter radio. So your little portable handset, or if you're in a house and you have your rig, you may have a rig that can do up to from 2 to I think 160. I think is the range that you can buy your radios in, and they can cover that whole range. And you just go tuning through the dial, and you go for 2 meters, and you find a repeater that's doing like a Morse code morning repeater, and you just sit there and you just listen, and you're just like, oh my good lord, listen to them go. And I mean, I was sitting there one day listening to it. I went, what am I hearing? And I remember my elder going, that is some really good keys up in the Morse code area, because he wanted me to start learning more Morse code. And he's like, those guys are going at least, they're going at least 25 words, maybe 30. Yeah, no, 30. I went, wow, that is just like, and it's just like so fast. I couldn't believe how fast they were going. Oh, you made a retraction tool. Cool. Yeah, I haven't played around much with the retractions to make a retraction tool, but I'll have to check that out though. I will look into that. It's always good to do testing. Like right now, I'm building a little block that is going to fit onto this. And the reason I'm doing that is when I put my camera kit on here, this sags a little, and I don't know why it's doing that, even though I've tightened it up massively. Like right here, this will go down, but if you look at it carefully, you can see that if I put any weight on it, it seems to sag a little bit. It doesn't seem to be right perfect. So I'm actually going to build a block, put it in here, so that it keeps this level. And that's something that I'm working on right now. So I've already done all the measurements. I've done the test block. It failed. Cut the block, figured out how much room I needed, and now I got to go and reprint it. So hopefully I'm right, and that will help support it. But yeah, it also does it with my DSLR. So yeah, not good. And it looks like Colin made it. So let's bring on Colin. Good morning, Colin. 73.
Hey, how's it going? As I was making my coffee, I was listening, and Interesting stuff.
Interesting stuff as what? Ham radio
Well,
goes?
you were talking about ADHD and challenges in school, and I was thinking, am I going to have to join in on this conversation? How can I get around it? And then I hopped on and didn't pretend like I didn't hear it at all. So, which would have been the easy way to do that. And I guess I'm what, 5 years older than you, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I was at the tail end of them not diagnosing things like that very much. In high school, I recall there was one person with diagnosed ADHD, but it was not really a thing.
Well, they used to diagnose them, and they would put the kids on Ritalin immediately when they were diagnosed with
Ritalin was not a thing.
I thought Ritalin was still out in the
Ritalin
70s.
came in when I was in college. I'm 43, so I was in
same age
in middle school. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was diagnosed when I was what? 10. They diagnosed me with ADHD and they wanted to put me on Ritalin right away. And my mom's like, hell no.
Well, I remember when Ritalin came in. I guess we were both in middle school at that point. I remember it being a big news item that there are now medications that, will deal with this sort of thing. But
they decided my parents said, no, he'll be just a walking zombie. And basically that's what Ritalin did, turned you into a walking zombie.
That was my take on it as well. And I mean, I had other challenges, or physical challenges and put me in physical therapy as a kid for a long time, which turned me off to gyms for many, many years, which was a bad thing. But I was given to that line of thinking as well, that you don't want to give these sorts of drugs to kids that will modify their brain chemistry at such a young age. So I ended up in physical therapy, and so that colored my life choices as a kid quite substantially.
Yeah,
I was a decent student, but I for a while I tried to avoid sports, and so I ended up with computers at a very early age. So
I was more of a soccer kid, so I played a lot of soccer when I was young.
Well, that was right. That was the backlash, right? For when I was really young, couldn't really participate, and then when I got into like 5th, 6th grade, I pretty much took up everything. I was extremely bad at it, but I did everything. I played soccer. I played lacrosse. I played hockey. I ran cross country. I skied downhill and cross country. I did everything in high school. Anyway, but that was my sort of rebellion against this. No, you're not going to be able to do it very well, and all this other crap. Well, screw you! I'm going to do it anyway. But it's a double-sided coin. I mean, you can either excel academically or excel athletically. You got to excel at something, or else high school sucks.
Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, hey, Ricky, what happened to your dog? Because I noticed you posted like an update, so I'm not sure what's going on with your dog or anything. Because he was posting information last night that it's eating better, but I was like, I don't know what happened in the beginning with the first place. So, just thought I would bring that up. But I agree with you. I was my parents wanted me to get into more sports and everything else, where I was not that sports oriented, but I did play a lot of soccer when I was young. My my speech. I have a speech impediment also. So speaking, writing are things I have a problem with. And I went through it all through high school, trying to keep up with what the teachers would write on the chalkboard and having one lousy of a time trying to read it because of the way I have something called, I'm not sure what, it's not a eyesight problem, but I cannot read well off a black chalkboard. For some strange reason, I get eye strain because of it. And I remember them saying, you got to sit closest to the board. And I'm like, and the closest kids that sit to the closest to the front are the ones that get asked all the questions. And she's like, all right, give your teachers this note. This will explain to them what's going on. No, they didn't care. They kept on asking me the questions. Like, I had to sit close enough they can read so I can write down what they're putting on the chalkboard. But yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't have glasses up until 4th grade, I think. And man, did I actually need them. And before that, I just couldn't be bothered telling anybody. I couldn't see what was on the board. And then ended up in the front row, like you said, and yeah, same issue.
Yeah, I'm not sitting in the front row to be a teacher's pet. I'm sitting in the front row to be able to read the freaking chalkboard. And it wasn't that I needed glasses. It was just I have a hard time seeing the black on white. And it was because there would be a glare on the chalkboard for some strange reason. And when I went to go see an eye specialist, he looked at my eyes and he said, there's nothing wrong with his eyes. His eyes are actually sensitive too. And they told my parents exactly why I can't see the chalkboard too well. And they're like, oh, so it's not no, it's he can see a little bit more in the spectrum than most kids can see. And it's like one out of every 10 kids suffer from this, is that they can see the glare off the chalkboard and it blinds them that they can't read what's being shown on the chalkboard. But yeah. Always fun and joy, you know?
Yeah. Let's see, whiteboards came in high school, right? No,
yeah, they did.
Maybe college, maybe. More substantially in college. I don't remember seeing them any in high school.
If I was just thinking back, did I see them in my high school? No, I did not.
Yeah, I think they came in the 90s, mid 90s. Really is when they became popular anyway in schools. But yeah, I have difficulty reading things off of whiteboards. I can read off the blackboard fine, but they now have whiteboard paint. Have you seen that? You can like paint your makerspace walls with whiteboard paint.
Whiteboard paint. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've seen that. I was actually going to buy some because on the side here, which you guys can't see, is I got a blackboard for instead of a whiteboard because I wanted something to be a little bit more bright and so I can read it a little easier. So I went with those blackboards that they use for restaurants and such, using these type of color markers, and they really stand out. And I can read these a lot easier than I was able to.
Those are sort of semi-fluorescent, right?
Yeah, and they just pop out, and I can write down stuff. Sectionize stuff, so it can be a little bit more organized when I'm working on projects or whatever. I pull that down and I just start writing out information, and yeah, it helps me out a lot when I'm doing work.
I'm trying to get to a point where I can print out a part here.
Yeah, that's another feature that I love about those the paints that you can buy now, chalkboard paint, where you can paint your wall and now it'll be a chalkboard. But the question I have is, how easy is it to paint over?
It's almost impossible. You have to strip it. It's like the ultra glossy of the ultra glossy.
No, not the whiteboard. I'm talking about the chalkboard stuff.
I've never seen that.
Oh, you never seen chalkboard paint?
No.
Oh yeah, you can buy it anywhere. Any hardware store will sell it to you. It only covers a small area. Same with the glossy paint. Will only cover the super high glossy marker paint will only cover so much. Will only cover such a small area that you have to then sand it down if you want to paint over it. But I'm not sure if that's the same with the chalkboard paint. TSP. God, I hate that stuff. Ugh.
Is that your typical paint stripper? What?
Yeah, TSP is a paint stripper.
TSP a brand? Okay.
Yeah, but you gotta wear gloves when you're using that stuff because it will burn your hands.
Well, that's true of almost any paint thinner that you're gonna use.
Yeah, it's more like a paste almost. If I remember having to mix it back in the day, and then when they came out with their TSP, where it's not where you don't. Yeah, it's a cleaner. My mistake. Where it's already pre-mixed. I was like, oh, thank God. I'll give you an idea. Okay, the house I used to live in, and that's going back a couple of years back. The wallpaper was put on with the strapping, and then where it's glued. These people really didn't understand wallpaper because the wallpaper was already pre-glued. But instead, they put this netting up. They glued their walls, put a netting up, and then put on the wallpaper. The old style wallpaper. And I'm telling you, we had areas where the glue was yay thick after pulling off the wallpaper. And you had to use this stuff called PST, and it just took it off. But my God, you'd have to scrub it, take a scraper, and go and pull back, and you just have all this glue and everything else, and you clean off your scrapers for hours on end. Ugh, never want to see that wall again. But yeah, I had to use that stuff to take down some wallpaper. But anyways, getting back onto the subject of 3D printing, how's your printer turning out?
Well, I'm trying to get now to the point where I can print something here just for the sake of being here and printing something. And what the hell's going on here? Hang on one second. Desktop. I ran into a problem, a substantial fastener problem. So apparently, M3 square nuts come in a variety of tolerances, and the ones you buy off Amazon suck. I've stripped a whole bunch of M3 bolts, trying to get them to work with these M3 nuts. I went down to Fastenal, which is like the McMaster car of fasteners that actually have franchise stores.
Okay.
And went in there and like a moron, I said, "What's the thread pitch of this? I can't get this to work." So the guy grabbed them and screwed it on. He still had to apply a lot of force to get this thing on. But the problem I'm running into is there are a whole bunch of M3 square nuts that are pocketed in two particular parts at the extruder back plate, and not the back, but the back of the extruder. The part goes in front of the rods, and the motor mount, the X motor mount. There's one in the X motor mount that's right in here. The pocket's on this side, but it's right in here. I don't know if you can see here or not, but that one in particular just spins. No matter what I do, I can't get it aligned properly, and then of course I can't get it out of the pocket. Whereas most of the other pockets, you can sort of fish it out with something pointy. So I've burned through several of these parts of the X motor mount parts. So I'm printing another one.
So I've never had a problem with the 0.3. with M3 screws I ordered from Amazon. Same with the nuts.
Well, I don't know. So I'm using M3 screws that came in my ANET kit. I think that's where they originated from. And the nuts from Amazon. So who knows? Anyway, ordered some new fasteners again. So this is my second order of fasteners for this project. And they will arrive later today, or actually they're probably available today, but I couldn't get out before being here. Generic POA, yeah, okay. Small amount. Did I have a I did have it. What was it? What? I can't see the chat at the moment.
Telling you that Joe Paddock put that he thinks that you and Prusa don't like each other.
I don't know. Everybody has to like Prusa. Can you imagine going? I mean, he is actually a very nice guy by all accounts, but he's a huge guy. It's like, and not a huge guy in the Joel Telling kind of tall, scrawny way, Not a guy I'd want to have a disagreement with. All right, so test parts, yeah, okay. XN motor mount, okay.
Yeah, so, I'll talk to you. Have fun lurking around. I understand you have to go, so not a problem. And hello to Minnesota Maker who just came in. So, yeah, if you guys see me pop up your information in the video, it only is to say hi. If I haven't said hi to or someone's talking, so just thought I would clear that up.
All right, I guess I shall print it again. I've got a whole folder now of test parts. I've got test parts, ABS parts, and POA parts. And for the last week and a half, I've been printing test parts and ABS parts, and I'm very tired of it.
Well, once you get the printer all up and running, then you know what you have to do next time.
Well, so there are a couple of things. The first is so what I'm trying to figure out is there a way to get this pocketed nut pocketed better, particularly in the X motor mount, and in the Y-axis, I've gone through several different Y holders. They all suck. They're all aligned vertically differently. So, and which of course means you need a Y motor mount, a Y holder, and a Y idler mount that are matched up so that they're set up vertically, and you end up with a straight run for your Y belt. So that's the other issue I'm running into. I've gone through several Y idler mounts that all suck, and looked at several Y motor mounts that all suck. So that's been a bummer.
Yeah. Sometimes
my
were you also using T rods instead of using D rods? So
extrusions, yes. Yeah. Well, part of my objective here is to not have to buy any new hardware. Fasteners don't count in my definition of hardware in this case.
Okay.
But it is becoming an odyssey. Yes. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Well, I gotta get a print going. I gotta print that stupid block. It takes like about a good hour and a half to print it.
Well, you shouldn't really need a whole lot of infill, or I mean, you should be able to do that with 2 outer walls and like 10% infill.
I'm doing it at 15, believe it or not, because last time I did it at 10, I actually caused some problems with the actual block when I first printed it. And I decided to go with, instead of going with 2, I went with 3 walls, which I usually use as standard.
Right. Well, that's what takes the time. The outer walls, the 10 or 15% infill add like 10 minutes to a print, but
Yeah.
But the 3 outer walls that eats up time.
Yeah, but at the same point is I want this to be strong enough that if there is too much weight, I don't want it to be cracking or anything like that, which happened beforehand when I tried 10.
I would think that you would be better served to build an interior frame inside your block with actual, cross pieces than to up the infill.
Yeah. That is an option to do, but I just went with just the infill. I just said that.
Certainly the easier option.
Yeah.
And until you know that you've got the measurements right and everything else.
Yeah. So what I found is that the weight was a little too much. Plus, also got this little round thing. I don't know if you guys can see that there. The round dial in the center. So I had to measure for that too, which was a pain to figure out. But the block is pretty small. It just fits in there nicely. So just the last print was off by about 2 millimeters off.
How heavy is the camera you're trying to put on it?
Well, let's see. This is the camera itself. Does not weigh that much.
All right.
But when you add in the light and this device for the C to hold the light up so I can get a good light shot.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That adds to it, and that's what causes it.
And that seems like it puts the light off center.
It actually puts the light center, actually.
Well, center with regard to the lens, but off center with regard to the center of mass of the
yeah. So once this is all on, it tends to tip like this much.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm building the block so it holds it up so it doesn't tip over.
I actually decided I'm going to design my own key light and with color temperature controls.
Yeah. Well, there are some out there that already have the temperature control on the back. This one does not. I just have a knob control, which I can control. Where is it? Right here.
Which is just brightness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you can see, it washes me right out.
Yeah.
But I can also turn it to whatever color I need it for.
So it's got color, but not color temperature?
It has a color rating from, like, it's pure white. I'm also using one of these little babies, which is to reflect the light.
And this stupid stuff has split again.
But it goes up to, what's the Kelvin on this? I think it's 5,800 Kelvin, which is basically sunlight level. So I can control, and on the dial, you just got to dial it in. It takes a little bit, but usually you can dial it into about, usually I run the light at 55%, and that's usually where it's kind of just the right amount of light usually for indoors.
So this is bizarre. Check this out. So in theory, these would have been at the other end, and they must have gotten stuck on the interior diameter of this thing, because they've ended up at entirely the opposite end of the rod. Very, very strange. I've actually never seen that happen before. I guess the interior diameter of my my spindle widener is not quite wide enough.
Oh, hey, Mike. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. All of a sudden, I'm looking at this, it's like, and all of a sudden, I see like Tanner say, "Hi, Mike." I'm like, "Wait, what? Did I miss something?" And then all of a sudden, I see Never Let the Machine Win Mike come in. Is like, "Oh shoot, I missed him coming in." So yeah, I gotta go over to the printer and fire it up. I'll be back in a moment. Well, wait. Throw the video over. But before I do that, guys, remember, we still have the let me just put up the banner here. If you're on Discord and you want to get in the show, go to our Discord channel. Let me know you're in there, and I will send you the information if you want to come in and join us. We're having a nice, lively chat here on the show, but I'd like to have more of you guys come on in. If you're free, come on in, join us, have some fun, chat with us. Or in voice, in real picture, if you want to.
That's right. We
It's up
can't
to you.
we can't be expected to be that entertaining all the time if it's just the two of us.
Exactly. I'm gonna get that printer going, so I'm just gonna put myself into the background and Colin, you have full screen now.
Well, I'm just trying to. I think I've managed to do this correctly, such that it didn't get.
You're printing PLA? I thought you print only PETG for your thing.
Yeah, I'm doing test parts again. I'm not going to waste the PETG on another part where I might end up with fasteners that just spin in it. And I mean, I've had. No, the problem is I have a part. I'll end up with a part, and then I will put in the pocketed nuts, and then find that one, the pocketed nuts can't be removed, and two, they can't be aligned correctly because they're either the outer dimensions are wrong or the inner dimension tolerances are off or something. Anyway, so I'm putting a test part this time, and then after this, around noon or 1, I'm gonna go get my newly ordered set of fasteners and try again.
Woo! I'll be back in a moment.
But yeah, I was printing PETG like a madman for a while, and then I got to this stumbling block. So it'll happen, all in good time. Let's see. So I guess it's up to me, and nobody's chatting, so I must make conversation. Yeah, Joe, you gotta hop in and help me out here, because talking to myself is not my strong suit. So anyway, I have that issue with the X motor mount, which is going to be solved when I reprint it once again. And then the Y idlers, did I throw out the part? I think I did. No, I didn't. So I tried a couple of different Y idlers in this project. Let's see if I can go like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if that, Dwayne, I'm not sure if that's a good thing, especially a guy who has that many guns around talking to himself. But anyway, so I've gone through a couple of different Y idlers. This one looks cool, but again, I've got the issue of the spacing of the center and spacing and centering of the top groove in the 2040 extrusion doesn't match up with the 40 millimeter side here. If this was moved over about a millimeter,
You're not in picture.
it'll be fine. And but it's not, and I can't get the step files for it, so I'm probably going to have to design a okay, yes, insert filament. That's not good. Come on, load, damn it. Ah! This filament is very poor.
And that's how you get broke. And that's how you end up with tangled filament, people, when it breaks.
There we go. But yes, this filament is a very questionable quality, which is of course why I'm using it for this, but it is of sufficiently questionable quality that
I could freak you guys all out. I could smile like a crazy man. If you guys hit the thumbs up, may I'll do that. May I'll just end it off as end it off as a smile.
now do I have is that going to, so there's a blob of filament on here, and I'm not sure if that's going to become a problem. Well, maybe not.
Wait a minute, are you trying to add PLA to PETG?
No.
Okay.
What do you take me for, man?
I'll take you for who you are.
I am not the 3D printing noob.
Just making sure. Just making sure. I love Joe Paddock's line here. As long as when you're talking to yourself, you don't answer yourself in another voice.
Right, and that's my response to talking to oneself is you're doing okay as long as you don't lose it. And even if you're arguing with yourself, you're okay. But if you start losing arguments to yourself, that's bad.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. I've had conversations with myself, and some of them are pretty, you're just like going, no, that won't work because you gotta do this. And it's like, well, would it work if I did this?
No. I mean, okay, in the real world, yes, all the time, but that is less funny. You must bring the funny. Yeah, no, I think everyone does that.
I don't have a 3D printing pen. I gotta get one. I gotta get a 3D pen one of these days.
Yeah, so they were giving away a few of them in UFO boxes.
Hmm.
Yeah, we know giving away the contest entries in a UFO box.
No, well, Fernando, I know, was giving away a whole bunch of them back in the day. He said he was going to send me one, never got back to me about it. But oh well, I'm not too upset. But I do see areas where a 3D pen would be handy, especially on this print right here. I got a couple of marks I would love to fill up with a 3D pen. Just like take a 3D pen and just fill up like little imperfections, but that's about it.
Yeah, that seems like the logical use for a 3D pen to me, to correct imperfections, to add to chamfers maybe, just strengthen parts. But I don't understand the marketing of these pens whereby they want people to build original 3D constructions using the pen.
There's a question from Joe Paddock. He wants to know what happened to Fernando. He's been busy lately. I just talked to him about a few weeks ago over on Facebook, and just asked him, Like, what's been going on? How you been? And he's like, I've been fine. I've just been super busy. I just haven't had time to even come on live chats or talk to anybody lately.
Mr. Buttram talks to himself in the third person.
That's always good.
Speaking of yourself in the third person to other people is where you start going horribly wrong, though.
Oh boy. Yeah, but we know Mr. Buttram always likes to talk to himself, so that I'm not too concerned about. See, I like that one too.
Now, there was a case where I really could have used a 3D pen. This was a couple weeks ago. I can't remember what it was now, but I was looking at this part and thinking, I really need a pen. And I think I ended up throwing it out. But yeah, it was one of these repair, would have been an easy repair job had I had a 3D pen.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you remember when you used to go back to school, you only had to go after Labor Day? Now they have kids going back to school for half-day information sessions for a week. It's like, why? I don't get it.
I think it's just the lack of intestinal fortitude of modern day students. They need to ease them back into the school experience or something.
Why? I remember my school was like, one day's the half day. You're there for half of the day. You meet your teachers, and then you get to go home. That was my. Or B, if you were on the photo list, then you had to wait. Then you had to stick around. But other than that, most of us were off on the first day, and that was it.
Half days at the beginning of a school year. That was not a thing, I don't think.
Wasn't my school for 2 years. Didn't have to go until September. Sorry, no, I had to show up one day early. I had to show up, I believe it was on the 20th of the beginning of the month of August. I had to go to school, go pick up my paperwork. That was just, what classes I was in, everything else. And if anything needed to be changed during that week, you could go back and talk to your counselor and get your courses changed. 9 out of 10, I usually didn't have to get my courses changed, but 1 year I did have to get my courses changed because I didn't have any of the needed stuff. And I looked at them and went, yeah, but I worked on this for 2.5 years. Yeah, well, you need to have this course. But all right.
There was a point in middle school where, well, let's see. No, we had I guess middle school, yeah, they started in late August, I guess. High school started in late September. They were a full month behind in terms of start dates.
Really interesting, because
yeah,
when I was going to school, my elementary, basically grades 1 through 8, were all started in the after Labor Day. And same with my high school, started after Labor Day. But in my high school, we had the day after, Labor Day, which was the day you go back to school, was a very short period. It was only like till 12 o'clock. And then everybody was sent home back in the day. Because just meeting your teachers, finding out what your course load is going to be.
I can see like a 1 day orientation day kind of thing, but having a full week, why would you need a full week of that?
I don't know, but schools are now starting full weeks where they go in, they meet their teachers, they learn their course load, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, all you need is 15 minutes to know your course, and that's it. You're out of the class.
Probably need the full week in order to get back into the experience of not having their phone on all the time.
Well, kids still keep their phone on even in class.
Really?
Yep.
Not if I were teaching.
Some of them are using them as calculators, believe it or not.
I remember people used to complain because I bought one of those Casio calculator watches, which looked really cool, but were totally useless as calculators, or almost useless as calculators.
Oh yeah, I remember having one of those too.
But I remember in 5th grade they were complaining that, oh, you're cheating. Like, first of all, if I were cheating, you'd see me cheating. And second, good luck. Why don't you try taking a test and cheating using this calculator?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I remember those Casio calculators. They were terrible.
They were a neat little knickknack, but yeah, as calculators, they weren't all that useful.
What I liked about mine is it also stored every phone number I used to know.
Oh,
So
I
I
didn't
could
have
go
one of
through
those.
it.
That was,
And get the phone number and then type it and then dial it in the phone.
yeah, I think that was the advanced model. We didn't get those.
Yeah. I had it as it became like a little black book of phone numbers for girls I used to know in high school.
Huh.
Because every so often, some girls like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's just my watch. It allows me to start a phone number. Really?
That must have been the newer model or something. Because that wasn't. I think I was really cheap. I bought the cheapest one that was a calculator watch, and that was it.
Well, I asked my parents for one and they gave it to me. And then I had in like grade 9 and I had like all the girls found that interesting that you could put phone numbers in it and they would leave their phone numbers in my my watch.
Just because it's interesting. There you go.
It's interesting, yeah.
That's right, Ron. You are not interesting, but your calculator watch is fascinating. Let me put my phone number in it. Wow.
Well, hey, I ended up with a lot of phone numbers back in the day, and a couple dates too. So that was not too bad.
Novelty, No, I was never given a calculator watch. I had to. I think I had to buy the vast majority of my electronics.
Mm. Then there was another one that my dad got, which he could never used it and could never understand how to program it. He just like, yeah, you use it then. It was one of those pocket phone number electronic phone books,
like the Casio Boss,
something like that. But you could put it right to the phone, press a button, dial the phone number for you.
Oh yeah, the phone dialers. Yeah, I remember those. The Casio Boss. I think that was the first attempt at a PDA, not a PDA, but a pocket phone book. Hey, how's it going, Ricky?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Ricky, thanks for coming in.
Well, glad to do it. I'm here in Kansas,
Really?
I'm here in Kansas City right now.
Vintage 80s electronics was boring you?
No, I don't know what you all were talking about. I had to leave the stream to go to Discord because I'm on my phone. So I had to shut down the stream to go to Discord to find the link, and then I had to. My Discord wasn't logged in, and then it's like new device detected, and then I had to go to my email and verify the device.
Oh yeah, they're really on it with all that stuff.
Oh yeah, so it was a big mess. So I've been like the last 5-6 minutes I've been working on just.
Well, we appreciate the effort.
I don't have anything else going on right now because like all the people that I plan to meet with today are at work. So.
Oh, nice.
So were you a particularly nerdy student? You strike me as not one of the nerd as a kid type people.
Oh, total nerd.
Really?
Total nerd. Me and my friends hanging out was like watching a episode of The Big Bang Theory.
Am I the only one who really disliked The Big Bang Theory? I was offended because it gave nerds a bad name, whereas I enjoyed Chuck, which came out at the same time as The Big Bang Theory. I found much more entertaining because I'd rather be an international spy than.
But see, I think it was a fairly accurate representation.
Oh yeah, sure. But who wants accuracy? I don't watch TV for accuracy.
Now it wouldn't be an accurate representation at their ages is the only thing.
Right. Yeah. That was
that's the way me and my friends were.
It's like they're behaving like high schoolers. Yeah.
Right. That's the way we were in high school and into our, later teens and early 20s.
Right. Where,
but then,
in my mind, Chuck was very accurate for the age group. 20s,
right.
early 30s. That's what you did. You had some sort of desktop support IT job.
Right.
And you
worked at an electronics store or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This camera makes my hat bill look weird. It looks huge.
It has an interesting angle to it, but
yeah.
Well, you're wearing KC, so that may be the problem.
Options. You can get the weird hat look or the up the nose look.
Right.
Those are your two choices.
Or I can make my arm tired and make it look better, but I got to hold the phone up.
Come on, if you're gonna do that, you got to do the duck face and get the whole selfie thing going.
There we go.
Till we're skinny.
So what are you doing? Are you traveling around?
I came here. I got news last week that a friend of mine had cancer basically riddled throughout his entire body. And he was given less than 2 weeks to live. And so I hopped on the first possible flight that I could make happen and come down here. And I went to see him yesterday and hung out with him for a couple hours. And then I received news this morning that he passed away.
Dang. Wow. At least you got to see you one last time.
I made it down here just in time.
Yeah. Was he doing okay up? I mean, it seems like it was caught only near the end. Was he doing okay up until then?
He about a year ago he had melanoma. And for most people, most of the time, melanoma is a small patch of cancer on your skin. They cut it off and it's gone.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, that little small patch of melanoma, it basically leaks cancer into your bloodstream and spreads it all over your body.
Yeah.
So they removed the melanoma. All the tests came back that he was cancer free. A few months go by. He has a bump under his tongue that he's like, oh, this is weird. So he goes to the doctor. They biopsy it. It comes back as cancerous. They scan him again for cancer, and it comes back that he's got cancer in his spine, in his brain, liver, kidneys, lymph nodes, pancreas.
Wow.
All over, head to toe. And so they tried some aggressive chemo, and it did nothing, basically.
Yeah.
And so then they just basically sent him home. Like, there's nothing else we can do. We'll give you pain meds to make you as comfortable and stuff as we can for what time you have left, but you got a couple weeks most.
Oh, so he didn't even, okay. So he wasn't like hospitalized for a year or something. He was.
No.
Honestly, that's not a bad way to go.
Well, except for the really, really painful ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because basically he went from feeling fine, finding out, and then, the last couple of weeks of his life has been very, very sick and in a lot of pain. Yeah.
Well, it's always sad, but
yeah.
If that happened to me, I would prefer to go that way rather than be hospitalized for a year or 2 years and so on.
And he was only 40 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And no wife, no kids.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure thankfully you came down to see him.
Yeah. I was. I knew the time was short. I didn't know how short. I was planning to go see him again today, and I called and they said, well, he passed away this morning. So.
Wow.
It's a heavy heart situation. But, I'm just thankful I had a chance to visit with him for a couple hours yesterday.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're a good friend for having just hopped on a plane and headed down. That's so quickly.
Well, he was among that, the group of friends that I said we were basically like watching an episode of The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
He was among that group. There was me and like 4 other guys that we did everything together.
Yeah.
Until, we met women and started having children and
the world set in. Yeah.
Right. Until the real world started.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian Vines. Welcome to the chat. Also, I have something for you that you might like to have a look at before I make it into my videos. I just wanted to show it to you, but if you're interested in having your own lower third, let me know, because I'm actually building one. I just finished building mine already, which is just a video clip that I've put together. So,
Brian, I have a question for you. You were printing. You printed Prusa parts out of the Hertz PETG, right? You were showing them off. You had one of the last rolls of blue. What line thickness were you using? I know Prusa uses, designs these parts that are being printed at like 0.3. And did you run into problems with the pocket nut that goes into the X-axis motor holder? Because I'm thinking maybe I did at 0.2. Okay. All right. So I was thinking maybe that I had doing it at 0.15. I had allowed too much slop in that pocket or something, and maybe that's what allowed the nut to spin. I'm still very annoyed at that problem even exists. So I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out.
Let me see if I can find that thing. Oh my God.
I went and got my tablet and signed onto the stream over there.
Prusa says 0.2. Okay. My understanding was they were doing everything at 0.3. That's good to know. Okay.
So now that I can see the chat, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I'm glad I got to come down here and see him too.
So does the S upgrade? The S upgrade doesn't actually change the X-axis. You're just printing those parts to match. Is that right? I mean, they look really nice, but yeah, okay, that's what I thought. What's the problem here? Am I stuck? I am stuck. Damn it! I have failed. I am a failure.
No, it's good that you can admit it to yourself. Then that's the first step.
Well, and I see where the hang up is. All right. Now we are going to do something you can only do on a Prusa.
So here's what I've done, guys. I just want to get your idea of what you think of my lower third video here.
Uh-oh. My cutter is not...
That's as long as it is, though.
Not accessible.
Oh, no, your filament's not working right?
Well, I see where shit. No, I'm looking for my cutter.
Just break it with your hand. It should be.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Or may not.
Eventually, I will.
Lower third kind of big? Not really, because you got to remember this is going to be on video. So when you look at it on the video, it's going to look a little bit smaller than that. And Brian Vines, I can put that with your logo in the center of it. and I can make it fade in, fade out. I'm still playing with Vegas, and I've been doing this all in Vegas, so I can send it to you with a green screen on the back, and then you can incorporate it into any of your videos if you want to. You just got to turn on chroma keyer and just take out the green in the background. It's more like 5 seconds is what it's for. Just enough that it pops on and then pops off again. And Ricky, I can send it to you too if you want your own version. Oh, we just lost Ricky. Yeah, he's gone. I think we lost him.
All right.
That gives you a secondary one that you can use. That's all, really. And it looks like we lost Ricky. Hopefully he'll be back. I think he just lost internet connection. Hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Did you finally break it?
Yes, I managed to break it. I managed to untangle it. I think I'm good at this point. Now I just need to wait for the filament to run out that's still there, and then I should be able to swap in the full roll again. One hopes.
Actually, Brian Vines is right about that rainbow filament. I've seen another couple of I've been watching a couple of the Facebook channels, and a couple of them have complained about getting it not fitting into their Capricorn tubing. I've heard other people complaining that it's that it couldn't fit in their printers, that they're having issues with printing it now. So there might have been a problem with that filament. Come on, Prusa, don't fail you now.
Yeah, this is not the moment for the filament sensor to die on me. It seems dead, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Great. Oh, yay.
Hooray. You're a brave man, willing to put your fingers in between that nozzle. What's that hot?
I put my fingers in all sorts of dangerous places. As the Viking will say, do not touch the bed. Do not touch the bed. Oh, that doesn't bode well.
There you go, Colin. Someone, Mr. BV's reply.
Yeah. Do not touch the bed.
No, I've heard that about you, Colin. Where I said, you're a brave man to stick your fingers there. You say you stick your fingers in more dangerous places.
Yes.
Hey, Jake, how you doing, buddy? Comes in with a fail.
Booger hooks. Wow. Okay.
Oh boy. So we're just saying if Ricky's going to come back, hopefully he does.
Bed where the print is supposed to stick. They only touch the edge, like here and here. Anyway. Print's not sticking are not the problem today.
Yeah, they're just sticking. Did you apply glue to the bed? Please tell me you didn't apply glue to the bed. Oh, wow. He's graduated from not using glue, people.
No, it's just a matter of dialing in the proper Z height.
Yeah, Brian Vines is happy that you're no longer using glue sticks. Mr. Butchon says, finally.
I will point out that they ship with the Prusa, so we have to assume they're intended to be used.
Yeah, but not on the powder-coated sheets.
Yes. My Prusa shipped with a powder-coated sheet and a glue stick. And it said, use the glue stick to protect the powder-coated sheet.
Really? Interesting.
Yes. In fact, I bet I still have that piece of documentation. It was a separate sheet that was printed about care and feeding of the powder-coated sheet.
Hey!
I don't know.
Change the logo a little bit. Like the new logo there, Derek. I agree with Joe Print. For smooth sheets, yes. For powder-coated sheets, no.
Glue stick is for snack.
I can eat all the gummy bears.
That's the one thing that printing has done badly for me. I now keep a regular stock of Haribo. I buy like the 1 pound bags now.
They sell them 1 pound bags?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them at all out here. But then again, I'm not looking for gummies. I'm looking for sugar-free gummies. So.
Yeah. Well, I probably should be doing that too.
Yeah.
But it's all good since I've finally gotten back into the gym. So.
Her heroin bow. That's what Brian Vines likes to call it. It's like heroin. They're addictive.
They are pretty good.
Yeah.
But because I do have to keep up the tradition of complaining about Prusa, they gave me only this tiny little bag.
Let's see this tiny little bag. You're not showing anything.
Tiny little Haribo bag. Like, you know,
Aww.
It was adorable, but too small.
You want like a big bag of them so you can have.
I want, you know, like a 1/4 pound or something. This was like 6 ounces or something.
So you want a 1/4 pounder with cheese? Sorry, I had to use that line.
No, the 6 ounces would be a 1/4 pound. This would have been 4 ounces, and I would have like 1/2 pound or something. Anyway, so that was a 1/4 pound. I don't know. Anyway, it was insufficiently small. Or maybe I'm just an elderly fat guy and can't handle the ministry. I remember I used to eat gummy bears like one at a time. I would have one, and that would be enough for like half an hour.
See, I've never tried them, so I don't know how good they are. But at the same time, I know that I can't handle it.
In the grand scheme of things, they're just it's an interesting texture, and it's sort of sweet-ish. So
apparently, Joe Print has found them in 5 pound bags.
So now I have to go back and look to see whether it was 1 pound or 5 pound. I think I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So it was the largest bag I could find. Maybe it was 5 pounds. I don't know. Yeah, they do come in relatively large bags.
I like that. I like that one. Pound, fistful of gummy bears.
Yep.
I remember we used to call that the number sign, and I used to never understand why we had that on the phone pad. And still to this day, I still don't understand.
It is the pound sign, and anyone who calls it a hashtag is a fucking moron. And it is the number sign, yes.
That's but what was it used for in a phone number? Same with the asterisks. What was it used?
It was used to separate a POTS number from an extension.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what its function was on the dial pad, though. I guess it was just an indicator, an indicator choice like star. Why they chose star and pound, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to tell a story where she apparently was part of either she was organizing part of it or she was a participant in a focus group where they were determining the layout of a touch-tone phone dial pad. And I'm not sure I get the story right. I'm not sure which it was, but apparently that was something that was being dealt with in the late 40s, early 50s.
Oh, okay.
It's how a touch-tone dial pad is supposed to appear. But they had star and pound on rotary phones, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
Really?
Yep.
I'm not sure that I have a rotary phone to go check. What did they have? They had something that was not 0 through 9, didn't they?
No, it was just 0 through 9.
Okay.
I still have an old rotary phone. Actually, I think there might have been the star might have been on there.
Yeah. See, I
on some of them, but not all of them.
Huh.
Because let's pull up a picture of a rotary phone.
No, Robbie, please enter your social security number followed by the pound sign. You may proceed now.
See if I can find a really good close-up of one.
But, Robbie, to my earlier point, I think it was those buttons existed primarily as a touch-tone selection mechanism.
No, you're wrong. Hang on. I'm going to post this in the group.
Angry elf today. Why am I'm angry? Do I seem angry?
Are you angry?
I don't know. Ryan says I'm angry.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't think I'm any more perturbed today than I am usually.
There you go. There's an old rotary phone for you. So it was 1 through 0, and 0 was labeled operator only.
Okay.
So.
Well, 0 is labeled operator as in you dial 0 to get the operator.
Yeah. But I remember dialing like 10-digit phone numbers. Oh my God, those used to take forever. Unless they were like.
I remember memorizing phone numbers. Well, you didn't remember that because you had a snazzy watch.
No, I still remembered all of my phone numbers. I still remember a hell of a lot of phone numbers still to this day. You know, what really makes me laugh is my friends all had 848 numbers, and I was like 279 number. I was really
if I was forced to wear khakis all the time, like Jake from State Farm, I'd be angry too.
That's the phone I remember having on my wall in the kitchen. One of these style of phones.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Ours was yellow. Or was it green? I can't remember. But
ours was green.
One of those horrible 70s colors.
Yeah. Yeah, ours I think was like a different color.
I think that was the phone was yellow.
I think ours was green.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 70s there's the yellow.
It's sort of like mustard yellow. Yep, that's the one.
That's the one.
That's it. That's it. And the thing is, you know why that's the case? When you look at these old phones, these were all rentals from AT&T.
Same. Well, over here you would own them,
Canada, but it was the same thing.
Yeah, Bell Canada. Yeah.
The phone you couldn't buy phone hardware. That was one of the things that came from the out of the AT&T MCI lawsuit in 81. Was that settled? 81 or 82, whereby not only was MCI allowed to move from being a trucking company, CB Radio Gateway, which is what their primary business was initially, into a phone company providing actual phone service. They were allowed to use the infrastructure developed by AT&T and deployed by AT&T for a quote-unquote reasonable license fee.
Yeah.
And part of that was also that AT&T was not permitted to restrict phones to only those rented by AT&T, rented from AT&T. But until then, that's why everyone will look at those old phones and they'll probably recognize one of the 6 or 8 models that they had, you know?
Yeah. I want to get a rotary phone just to relive the rotary days, just to see if it'll still work. But that's the rotary color phone we used to have in our kitchen, was this god awful green.
I think rotary phones will still function. I don't think they introduced SS7 signaling, but that's only on that only relates to the switching infrastructure. I believe you could. I don't know. Actually,
yeah, I don't think like a rotary phone will work on today's technology, because everything's
I think they probably will. But I do remember in 1990, what was it, 6 or 90? Yeah, it must have been 1996. I was staying with my grandparents over the summer of that year when I wasn't in school, and I found they were using, and those of us in the U.S. will know AT&T, the AT&T Pro Watts pricing plan, which was their first attempt at competing with MCI. And they had this incredibly restricted local service arrangement. And what happened was I was using AOL, and AOL had what appeared to be a local phone number that I could call to dial in. But then a month later, we got the phone bill, and AT&T insisted that this number was long distance, which of course pissed me off to the point where I started looking at the AT&T contract, their setup, and they were on this old pricing plan from the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and so I immediately switched them to a sane plan. And then I discovered a line item. They were still paying for a rented phone from AT&T.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I said, Grandma, where is this phone? She says, I don't know. I said, well, let's go find it and return it, because this is ridiculous. And I think they were paying like $2 a month or something for it, which is not a huge sum of money, but still, something they shouldn't be paying for. I found it dust covered in the garage, not connected to anything, just on a shelf under a whole bunch of like paint cans and stuff. So then apparently, then I convinced them that we should go down to the AT&T office, because they still had offices for bill payment back then.
Yeah.
And return the phone. The guys looked at us like we were crazy. Said, "Why do you have this?" I said, "Well, what are you looking at me for?"
It's your phone.
Oh. But they didn't have any facility for returning them anymore.
So what do? Just say keep it? And
I think that we ended up, I don't remember exactly. I think we just kept it. But getting them to remove the line item from the bill was a bit of a challenge. I think they did. We ended up just keeping it. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Ah, interesting. So those are our friends at the First Layer finally released a video on Eryone filament. So
I'm sorry, what?
The guys over at the First Layer have just did a review of Eryone filament. They said, "Is it worth the price?" ?
Okay, that's a brand name.
Yep.
Okay.
The MK3 S mod? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, Brian. I don't like the S mod. I don't like the new the new extruder arrangement with the angled fan. It just looks less cool, and I haven't gotten any definitive answers as to how improved the cooling is with that mechanism.
Yeah, I have to agree with Jake a little bit on that. I've been getting a little teed off seeing everyone, and basically in the bottom of their like in every time I go open their Facebook feed, there's something about Eryone filament. That's because they allow them to post in their group, so people can get cheap filament. I don't agree with them, but oh well, whatever.
I don't mind getting cheap filament. I will promote people's filament if they send me some free filament. But
you know what? They contacted me. I reached out to them. They said I have to buy it, and then they would pay me back.
Oh yeah, well
I'm like, yeah,
that's not how that works.
That's not how it works. No.
If we like your review, then we'll give you some money back. I actually created a Twitter handle called like Amazon Reviews or something, just to amuse myself. I didn't post anything on it, and then I started getting these direct messages about, would you review our product? Would you review this product or that product? I didn't do anything to promote the thing. The just mere fact that it existed was enough. And it wasn't an obvious one. It was like Amazon Reviews 937 or something, because you couldn't get the regular one. Anyway, so I just randomly started getting review requests on it. It was pretty funny.
Well, I had them reach out. They were saying, hey, YouTubers out there on Facebook land, we need more reviews of this of our filament. So I said, okay, yeah, sure, I'm interested. How does this work exactly? Oh, you have to pay for it, and then we will pay you back. What? Oh yeah, review it, and then you can put it up on
right. And if we like your review,
on Amazon, and let us know how you like it.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Nah.
But that was the kind of offer that I was getting on this this Twitter handle that I threw together. It was the same sort of deal.
Exactly, Brian Rhines. Exactly what Brian. For a good review, call. Heard it in call William Attar. God, I hate that commercial. Drives me up the wall every time I see it on the U.S. stations. And I believe Robbie Max probably heard it enough times when he was living in the state, living over near Buffalo. Heard in the car, call William Attar. God, those were so annoying commercials back in the day.
No, I was living about. I went to college about 20 minutes from the Canadian border. That was 25 years ago. 25 years ago now. 20 years ago, and I guess he must be a newer attorney because I don't remember those.
Yeah, be careful, Edutech. That stuff likes to jam in everybody. I've not heard anyone having excellent results with that filament for some strange reason recently. Too many reports of it jamming up.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get
they only work
where you don't have to do sponsorships for videos, that frees you up so much. I mean, that's the nice thing about like AVE and that sort of thing. That guy generates, I think he's in the top 10 of Patreon publishers. I think he's generating something like 15 grand a month from Patreon.
Who's that? That's making that much?
AVE.
AVE. Don't know them at all.
Oh, you should check out the AVE channel. That's great stuff.
I love that line from Brian Vines here. It's Jamaican filament. Yippee jama, man.
Brian's a funny dude.
You like to
jam? Not to belabor the obvious.
We're jamming the hole. Jamming nozzles. There you go.
Or did you rip that off from Robbie Mack?
No, that was Brian. No, Brian Vines put
Brian ripped off from Robbie. I know
it's Jamaican filament. It'd be jamming.
They've got their Facebook channel their Facebook chat where they're throwing these things back and forth. It's Jamaican filament. Be jamming. That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be jamming.
That's nice to hear, Edutech. I didn't buy their filament. I'd have went, if you're going to be that scammy and not send me a roll. Like when I go to filaments.ca, they got a new stuff. They hand me a roll of it. Like right then and there. It's like, what's this? New filament we brought out. Try out, play with it. All right. Get home, pop it on my printer.
At the same time, you're also very diligent about mentioning them at every opportunity.
Damn right, because they're a small company. They are small.
Yeah, no, but my point is there is a right way to do that and a wrong way to do that. And you're right at that edge of, yeah, okay. Yeah, you can fit in a mention here. You can fit in a mention there. If you did it any more than you do, it would drive me up the fucking wall personally. But that's the key thing, to find that right balance where it's a natural fit.
Yeah.
And you can fit it in a conversation. But if you just tried to like jam it in every third sentence or something, that would be.
Well, just give you some information, okay? I buy like 90% of my filament from them because they distribute other filaments.
Yeah.
Like Color Fab, they carry Filamentum.
Well, Ryan is convinced that I'm an angry person. I'm not an angry person. Do not call me an angry person.
There you go.
I didn't mean it negatively. I meant it in the sense that Ron does this correctly and is responsible about it.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, if I like a company, I'm going to promote them. I went to 3D Prints in Hamilton. I didn't get that greatest response from them, so I don't talk about them a lot because I went there once and I just felt, they're just there to make money. They're not there to talk to community, find out what the community needs, and add a little bit to it. But that maybe only guy showed up on a bad day. So, it's like give them another shot later in the year. But I've always found that wherever I go to places that treat me right. Like Amazon, Amazon, I only go there because sometimes I got parts I need that I can't find anywhere else. That's the only time I use Amazon.
Yeah, but they're good about their returns.
Oh, their returns are super simple.
Speaking of which, I did return that horrible carbon fiber dust filament that I think I showed a part from that at one point. That stuff was a disaster. But yes, you don't generally have a problem with returns from. I mean, I only printed one part, but
Yeah, I feel sorry for Robbie Mack. Amazon is dead to him.
Really?
Yeah, they did him wrong.
Well, Amazon tried to not accept my return of a Samsung phone at one point. They first hassled me about the return. No, how did this work? They first wanted to ship me a replacement because what it was is they advertised an unlocked phone, except it was not unlocked and could not be unlocked. This is the difference between the Snapdragon and the other processor. I can't remember which was unlockable. One of them had a bootloader that was not unlockable. So it said an unlocked phone. So I, bought it and I attempted to unlock it. I found out later that you could not unlock it. I returned it. And for replacement, they said, yeah, we sent you the wrong one. We'll send you the right one. They didn't send me the right one. So I had two of the wrong one. So I shipped back the first one. And within like an hour of getting the second one, I had both of them in my hand, right? So I ended up shipping back both of them. I recognized the return of one of them. They then tried to tell me I didn't ship back the other one. And I told them, look, no, here's the tracking number for the shipment. If you have an issue with this shipment, take it up with UPS. And they said, well, we can't verify that. Of course you can verify that. You gave me the tracking number for the return shipment. Well, we can't verify the address that it was shipped to. Of course you can. The first line telephone support people apparently don't have access to that information.
Wow.
It's very, very strange. I eventually escalated the issue a couple of times, and they accepted the return. Then they tried to charge me a restocking fee. It was crazy. Anyway, I finally got it sorted out, but it took many phone calls over many weeks to get that sorted out. Other than that, Amazon has not done me wrong. That's really the only incident where they did a really piss poor job. And I can see, I don't think I've ever returned anything else that was over $800 worth of stuff.
You never know what you're going to get. I like that one. From Wellbot. Jake Farm remembers seeing a comment. It said, life is like a spool of everyone. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah, when you start printing with it, Edutech, you should do a vase mode of the Brian Vines' trash can that you can put on your desk.
Robbie Mack, is that like saying I have a girlfriend in Canada? I bought a hooker on the moon. Is she beautiful? I think so.
That's all, folks.
That was the cliche thing in high school.
Oh, that laser bull BS? Yeah, I was reading about that. I didn't see his video on the laser. Thank God Timothy Hoagland put it up for everyone to see it still. So yeah, he said he'll pull it down if Teaching Tech reaches out to him. So yeah, it's not cool. I agree with you on that one about that laser.
The garbage that happened to Teaching Tech. No. All right. So what happened?
So apparently he put out a video about somebody's laser that he had some bad. He gave it a bad review because he said it was a piece of junk. And the company that owns that, I forget what the name of the company was. They were going to sue him for slander and something else, but he just pulled down the video not to have to deal with them. But
that seems like the wrong way to go. I mean, I can see how that's the more expedient solution, but that's one of those precedent-setting things. You don't want to be doing that kind of thing. To address that, I don't know if he received that for free or
no, he bought it.
He bought it. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the guys like Tom and Angus have review contracts that they make sure that they get signed. That address, how reviews will work and negative reviews may happen and that sort of thing. But yeah, if you bought something and you comment on it, then they don't have a case to begin with. So if they threaten you with something like that, it's absolutely worth taking them to court if you can afford it. Because not only will you win, but you'll also get attorney's fees and costs out of it, because that's you end up needing to countersue them, but you'll win, and you will at least break even.
Well, he went on Facebook, the guy who's suing him, and started pulling out all the slander on Facebook, and people are going, "Hey, whoa, dude, what are you doing on Facebook? You shouldn't be saying those type of things." He was calling him a down-out liar and everything else on Facebook, like full-out slander on Teaching Tech side. So
wait a minute,
the backlash.
The manufacturer of this laser product was slandering Teaching Tech?
Yeah, on Facebook. After the fact, saying,
wow,
this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know anything about the product, and some other stuff. And they were like going, yeah, it's shadier than Sunlu. I agree with you on that one. They are shadier than Sunlu.
Did I buy anything from Sunlu? I've seen lots of stuff from Sunlu. I feel like I bought something of theirs, but it was like bearings or something.
Yeah, but no, but the company's known as Endurance Laser. But if you do some research on the guy, you'll see that he's been he had a lot to say about the Teaching Tech video that was all done wrong, that the video doesn't really prove their lasers are that good, and calling him out, saying that he was the phony and that his Endurance lasers are the best. And people went after Endurance saying, whoa, why are you saying all this? Because it's not true, and you know it. And so his own people that supported Endurance are now turning on Endurance.
Yeah, well, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
That is a poor marketing choice.
Yeah. Go after the person that just reviewed your stuff, and then you have the whole community going after you. Yeah, I didn't think that was a smart move on your part, but oh well.
So is Endurance Laser just one guy operating out of his garage, importing from China or something?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, anybody with any sort of infrastructure, including,
so stuff comes from China. It's hand built, according.
And anybody with any sort of experience selling any of these products would know better than to do that sort of thing.
Yeah,
you'd think.
You think that, but apparently not all the time. Because Mr. Benjamin just said, yeah, they use a certain diode that people have been tearing apart. Let's see here. Let's show that up. Yeah. So according to them, they say that they ship from China, but they say it's hand built. Then Mr. Benjamin goes on. They say that they use certain diodes, but people have been tearing apart the laser and finding that he's lying. So, yeah.
Yeah, don't tear into well-liked YouTubers. That seems like a bad choice. Oh well. Were people doing this kind of analysis before he went off on teaching tech?
Yeah. So apparently, here's the information. Here's more of it. They said 3D Printing Viking replied, the true 10-watt diode are really 7 watts. You know? And this guy's been spamming all the big name YouTubers for a while now. So, yeah, when you're like that, definitely I start worrying about a company when they start spamming everybody and start saying, hey, check out our unit. It's good. And it's like, no, it's not. It's garbage. I am more on teaching tech side. I know why he pulled down the video for none of the back because he got tired of the backlash. I agree with him.
I would put the video back up at this point. I mean,
yeah, but anyways, he pulled down the video. Then Timothy Hoagland said they can go after me. I'm keeping the video up. If he says no, take it down, then I will take it down. But if he says if I can, but I want to leave it up so other people know what's going on. And I agree with that. I'm all for that.
Tim copied it, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. As long as it's up somewhere where people can look at it.
Yeah. So apparently they're using our weird picture of me and you back side to side. It was just posted an hour ago to Facebook, to everyone's email that we're live. An hour ago.
Oh, us? This channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
what has that yielded us?
I don't know.
It doesn't give us numbers on the pop-out chat. That's irritating. I got to go back and look at
14 are watching right now that I can see.
What kind of Facebook channel did it get posted to that 14 people are watching and we know them all?
No, I said it got posted to my email. So they sent me an email finally.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean YouTube announced it? Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a mechanism to do manual announcements on YouTube anymore?
No, it's just automatic now. We just have to hope God it put out the message.
Hope it works, because there was something that Linus Sebastian was saying in one of his videos where he said they only have 10 notifications a day. Does that mean only 10 videos would get automatic notifications, or you could actually do it manually if you were big enough or something?
I don't know. Maybe it's something that he gets specialty because
it might be one of those 100,000 subscriber perks or something. But I have.
Okay, Chris is up to something interesting, guys. He's put the Prusa MMU2 on other printers and got it working.
Which Chris?
Chris Riley.
Oh, was that his video? I clicked past it because we were doing our thing here.
Yeah, apparently he put it on other printers, so yay.
I gotta see that. I'm still sort of vague. Having not owned one and looked at one in great detail, I'm still unclear on what kind of interconnect the MMU has to the main board. So it's just a set of pins that you just assign. That's interesting. I guess it makes sense. Huh. I thought it might have some sort of proprietary connector or something. But I guess it's just a matter of cutting it off and jamming DuPont connectors on or something. That's something I've not acquired. I've got JST crimps and connectors, but I don't have any DuPont connectors. So here's something someone could explain to me. Are the JST pins and DuPont pins identical?
They are similar, but not quite.
Not identical. Okay. Can you use the same crimper?
Apparently, yes.
Okay.
That's what I've been told. So I've been told that my crimping tool that I use to make my crimps, whenever I need to do one, and I just don't want to wait for wires. But now I got a store near me that sells them all the time. So
kind of like, I guess I'm just in the middle of nowhere because I don't have a store that sells 3D printing materials, supplies, electronics. I mean, we had a Fry's at one point, but all they and that closed 10 years ago. But all they sold was videos. It was like a video store and video game store. So I was actually surprised when I got to Fry's in Vegas and it was an actual electronics store. It's kind of amazing, but I've still yet to see a retail outlet of any kind anywhere near me that sells 3D printing supplies. Someone said they sell filament in Walmart now. Is that true?
I haven't seen Walmart selling filament out here yet. So,
okay, someone said that. I think that was.
See, I got a place that sells me the wires. They sell me the already pre-made DuPont connectors.
That seems like a Radio Shack type packaging.
It is similar to Radio Shack, but they're just regular little Ziploc bags.
Yeah. No, I mean one-off sales of things of that sort.
Yeah, well, the place in Toronto I know sells all this type of stuff, and they're a hobby store. Yeah, I can go down to my surplus store, which is they call it Cambridge Surplus, but they also have KW Surplus as their main store. And you need cable, wiring, weird stuff, they got it in that store. So I just buy it from them, and then it's usually already pre-done, so I don't have to worry about anything. Only thing I have is a soldering iron, and that's all I need, really.
Yeah, I need to
buy a really good one. I'm looking at the one from Habro. I'm looking at another one from whatever you call it. Oh, what's the name of the company? It's a Chinese one that they've built, but one of the guys has done a lot of testing with it. He says one of the best ones he's ever bought. So, and it's a little cheaper. It's about $100. The one that he has, which is about $250 used, he says he goes to his new one and he's used it for about 3 months. And he says heats up fast and has like thousands of tips it comes with, and they're all interchangeable with his regular one. So he's like, didn't have to buy any extra tips with it, and he loves it. So I'm gonna look at it.
I have soldering irons. Let's see. I have my old Archer soldering iron that I bought 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I have my whatever this thing was called, the one that was the one that was very popular for like a year or so ago. The TS-101 or whatever it was.
Is that the one where the soldering tip comes right off of it and you can interchange them with other ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the type I need to get. One of those type.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this. It works quite well.
Yeah.
But, I guess some people say it doesn't heat fast enough. It really does heat fast enough. I've not had a problem with it.
Yeah, with mine,
I'm also not trying to solder things to, giant chunks of aluminum heat sink or something.
Well, no, this guy uses it for, he does mod chip and on board, like he does repairs with old video game systems, bad capacitors or whatever. He changes them out. So he needs a really good thought. He needs a really fine tip solder point.
Yeah.
So he uses So he has that orange and sort of the yellow and blue solder system. I forget what it's called. I think Habro.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's one of those Japanese ones. And he says really good. Then he bought this Chinese knockoff version that was what she said. He bought it because he heard so many people say it's such a great unit and it's so much like the Habro. And he's like, really? I don't believe it. Bought it anyways. And he's like, this has been my favorite soldering iron right now. I've been using this for 3 months and I love this soldering iron. It is so good. I was like going, huh. Well, I need to replace mine because mine's only a 20 to 40 watt soldering iron. And it takes forever for it to heat up.
Huh.
And once it's hot enough, you can only solder 2 wires and that's it. Then it loses its power again.
This TS101 is, I think, 60. We'll operate it up to 65 watts. It, I mean, you have to go out and buy the power supply. So you don't anymore. You can buy the kits with the power supply, but I had to go buy a power supply separately. So I managed to find a 65 watt power supply that does a pretty nice job.
Yeah, but you're using a welder there, Robbie Mac. Yeah, I have an oxygen acetylene torch. I also have a MIG Axis. Well, if I need it, a MIG welder, and I'm looking for another one too. So I do want to get another oxygen acetylene torch because my torch is totally shot now. So I'll be getting a new one. Yeah, it's kind of weird when people look at me and they go, "You have an oxygen acetylene torch?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't you?" No.
I always keep acetylene torches in my garage, as they recommend.
Yeah.
It's not having an acetylene torch, it's having the gas around that.
Oxygen acetylene is not that hard to come by these days. I mean, I get them.
Yeah, but I still wouldn't want to store it in my garage.
I get that. It's nothing to store it really. It's just 2 big tanks. They just sit off to the side.
Well, I mean, it's not so much the size as the risk.
Yeah, the risk is
insurance would go up substantially if I kept an acetylene torch system.
You know, you're more dangerous carrying a propane tank than you are with oxygen and acetylene.
Probably.
Yeah. No, I use oxygen and acetylene as a lighting. Like once in a while when I'm working on metals and whatever, I need that oxygen and acetylene so I can get it to the right temperature, get the nice blue flame, and then I'll be melting stuff in it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as the caps are on, they're perfectly fine. I agree with you on that one. They're joking.
They probably are perfectly safe. I'm just saying that it raises your insurance rates. At least that would for me.
Now, if you tip over the valves, different story exactly. Yeah, just change it to the wall. You should be fine. Exactly. I agree with you, guys. I play around with it all the time. So I don't own, well, technically, I don't buy it out all the time. I just, whenever I need it, I just go to a place I know that will sell me. Not the big bottles. It's like a half the size of the oxygen selling tanks, where I just get them filled and that's it. Boom, put them back up, use them for a couple hours, and then I'll be empty by the time I'm finished. So. And if I need to work with oxygen acetylene, I also know a couple of car places that will let me use their systems anyways. I have seen me messing with oxygen acetylene on freaking in their shops before, so it's more like, yeah, you need oxygen acetylene access. Just don't see me. I'll let you. You can borrow our torch, use our torches if you need to. I'm like, great, thanks. But I like to do it at home. Facebook. One of them was pulled. Really, guys? They only deleted one of the posts I posted. Yet you can't see the post that was removed. It'd be nice if they showed you the post that you reported that you watched and that you thought was not right.
Oh, show it to the administrator or something. Yeah.
Well, no, show you the person who reported it. Yeah, this page was removed by the this post was removed by the administrator. You know.
Yeah. "47 minutes remaining. Very, very slow. Very, very slow." So I am pretty much of the conclusion now that I can't use this because it has improper. There's no countersinking here. So in order to get the otherwise, I'd have to buy new bolts, which I don't really want to do. So I guess my only option for Y motor mount is to design my own, which seems okay. I have no problem doing that. Maybe
you guys gotta see this setup.
What?
You guys got to see this setup. This is sweet.
Which?
Okay, let me see if I can pull it up on my Facebook. This guy's
edge of safety violations.
Edge of safety violations. Were you doing a science experiment, EduTech, for your class? Just showing them how dangerous playing with chemicals was?
Okay, what was this setup we need to see?
I'm just pulling it up right now. He's laughing his butt off, he says. Oh, boy. There we go. No, it wasn't here. This one. Here it is. Okay. Share option, share application window. There we go. Share. Boom. That.
I get why people want to light their printer. I don't understand why people do RGB.
What are you talking about? Inside, it's just a blue light that's in the background.
Well, I guess it's because the background of the thing is blue. I guess it was more general. I mean, there's an RGB. There's the purple RGB there too, but
that's his computer lit up, though.
I know, but I'm saying I don't understand. It's a general matter. I know there are a lot of people who put RGB on their printer, and they try to justify it by saying, well, it'll light up certain colors based on the state of the printer. I don't know. It seems silly to me.
Yeah.
I am. What was I? I am an angry elf. So there you go.
But I just saw something that just EduTech just put down. It was an autobody class. You too? Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it if people really enjoy their RGB, but they should just own up to enjoying their RGB and not try to justify it by saying, well, it tells me the status of the printer. So, Whose setup are we looking at here? I can't quite read the text.
This is some guy named George Suera Samamera.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't somebody here in the chat as I'm critiquing it.
Yeah, no, I just like the look of this. Honestly, how he took the IKEA rack table.
The enclosure is good. It looks like it's pretty much the standard Prusa enclosure, but he built it on top of a desk. Is that what it went on?
No, he took the IKEA lack table, built the enclosure.
But it's not the IKEA lack table. It's built into a full desk.
No, it's not. That's the IKEA lack table right there.
On top it is. I mean, the way that the Prusa enclosure is, you get two lack tables and you top and bottom. Here he just did the lack table on top, which is cool. I like it.
I like the controller in the front of it also.
I'm not sure that I would have I would have centered the controller with respect to the printer or with respect to the enclosure, but yeah, it's well set up, I guess. It looks like he sort of has a filament spool arrangement on top, kind of, but it's hard to see what's going on there.
Yeah, that there's the
and the spool sits on top of the bearings.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay,
and then goes down through the center and then goes into the printer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm passing judgment unreasonably. You have to light the thing just to be able to see the printer, but the RGB on the computer just burns me.
There you go. EduTech just said you're not going to like his enclosure. It's all RBG all day, controlled by Google Home.
Okay, controlled by Google Home is kind of cool, but RGB not so cool.
You're just an old guy, man. RGB is the future.
We just established that we're the same age.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah, because in my computer here, it's all RGB red. And I was doing RGB before RGB was cool. Mm-hmm. I actually put an RGB red LEDs in this just to see if I could. And I remember people were doing it before it was considered the thing to do. So, yeah.
I still have an ATX enclosure that has the Gateway 2000 branding on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have I haven't bought a desktop in a very long time, but I intend to use that enclosure for my desktop gaming rig when I build one. just to screw with people. Because that was back when I think that was from 94 or something like that. So, and the ATX standard hasn't changed a whole lot. Yeah, well, there you go. You're hip like that, whereas I am an angry elf, apparently. So,
Ron was doing RBG, still using painted incandescent light.
RBG, no, that's so wrong.
Oh yeah, really funny.
I have respect for RBG.
I got rolls of RGB right here.
No, that wasn't the joke I was making.
No, I was just saying, like EduTech, I got rolls here of RGB stuff that I've used back in the day when RGB was like only real aficionados were buying
together yourself and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember in high school, I remember when I bought I bought this beast of a computer, I was using this type of stuff. I was and then I went out to Walmart of all places, and Walmart had RGB lighting in stock. I was really shocked in their car audio section.
Oh,
and they had really super bright red.
Yeah.
So I went, ooh, that looks nice, but they didn't have any wiring information. Said 12 volt only.
Yeah,
and
under chassis kind of lighting, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But it was meant for the car interior.
Oh,
interior.
So there
it is right there.
Huh. That's cool.
Lined it up in there. But the problem is it didn't match the fan. The fan has a lower light quality than this does.
Yeah.
But it shows right in here the red lighting overcasting in there.
That's cool.
And it just looked so nice. But at nighttime, this thing just lights up. It looks like a freaking, my friend calls it Toaster 2.0. It looks like a lighting in a toaster. And I did that like about, when did I buy this computer? This is it's the Ivy Bridge, if I remember correctly. I think 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe 5 to 6 years ago. When people were really doing the weird modding case stuff. Buying a case and then getting laser cutters to cut out certain symbols out of them, and then pulling it forward, replacing it, and then putting like logos on them. that type of stuff. That's what I was working on this baby. But
Yeah.
I kind of stopped. I went with water cooling on this, but this is only a K chip. The reason I went water cooling on this, even though it's not overclocked, is because I was finding out that my processor was heating up to 90 when it would overclock itself. And I was like, I don't like it getting that hot.
That's
and then I
very
found
borderline, yeah.
and then I found out that because it was overheating. So I said, okay, let's put a water block on it and push it to its full max. So when it needs to overclock, now it only hits about, I get almost 4 out of that chip with it overclocked without it throttling heat. I think the highest I've seen this get is 62 degrees Celsius on load. So.
Oh, interesting.
They're not brake lights. They're just interior lights for your car. Just interior lights. They're known as super high red, pure red light. And it's considered the brightest. It's one of the newer, it was considered one of the brightest reds that you could buy on the market. And it was on sale for like $12. I went, whoa, that's perfect for the case. Went out, bought it, slammed it in there. It looks nice and shiny.
So apparently Apple Music, Pandora, and Spotify were sued for patent infringement. I'm not sure yet on what basis, but
Ha ha ha, Brian Vines.
it was bound to happen.
Yeah, Roxanne put on the red light. Yeah, I got your joke. Roxanne, you don't need to put on that red light.
So your studio is the red light district?
No, it's not the red light district. No, the red lights was more for some mod I was going to be doing extra on this computer, but I just never did it. Which was I was going to put the red light in there. It's supposed to throb, like a heartbeat almost, to tell me when the computer was using, as almost like a heartbeat idea.
Huh.
But I couldn't get the timing to work right at all. And every time I did it, every time I put in the program, this little module I had in there, it just wasn't pumping it properly. It would just go all weirdy. Like one minute it would go right down nothing, then it was super bright, then nothing, and then you stuck on super bright for a little while, and then it wouldn't reset itself. And it's just the module just didn't work right, so I kind of scrapped it. I thought you were going to say I'll buy that for $1 there, red light. I mean, are you back? Oh man, you missed a lot of good stuff there, Joe Paddock. They're making fun of my computer because it's red.
Did he dare to leave the stream and then
he
come
did.
back?
He did.
Not that I'm discouraging him from coming back, but leaving to begin with.
Robbie Ann.
Here is the dungeon. I have because I guess I'm curmudgeon-like. I have a problem with people calling their home work areas maker spaces.
Why is that?
I don't know. I have a general problem with the term maker space. I have the general problem with the term maker because it strikes me that you're segmenting off of people who actually make things, which should be the majority, not the minority.
I can see your point there, but I really didn't like the word maker in the general sense for people who work with wood, because actually we're known as carpenters.
Right. Yeah, right. I mean, if you have a particular specialty or something, you are that, a carpenter or whatever. And if you don't have a specialty and you just make things, then you're a person. I guess I find it problematic that there are groups of people who do not make things.
I like Brian Vane. My bedroom is my sleeping space. My kitchen is my cooking space.
I don't know. My bedroom is not my sleeping space. I think you're using your bedroom incorrectly, sir.
Okay, well, there you go. Edutech just said, wait, Robbie Mac. So they're making fun of Robbie Mac right now with the red light line. There you go. Never let the machines win has let the machines win. His kitchen is sometimes his printer space.
My kitchen is also my printer space, but not my resin printing space. That would be dangerous.
Yeah.
We're discussing the negative aspects of calling one's hobby room or one's whatever printing room a maker space.
Yeah. So my second bathroom is currently my resin printing space, according to Never Let the Machines Win, which is not a bad idea. Turning your washroom into a resin is not a bad idea. But I have an old downstairs in my basement is set up so you can also do photography. So what do I do with the photography room? Since I do have a wash bin there,
that does
turning that over into
space. Yeah,
make a resin space exactly. The only problem is there's no ventilation in that room.
MPCNC build section 3 or 4. I guess this is section 4.
Your unit's only 4 watts? Jeez, that's pretty sad, Rob Mac.
I'm trying to come up with the proper joke here.
That's what I just said.
I significantly hotter than that. 4 watts doesn't seem to cut it.
I love that. 4 US, but that's comparison to Canadian is 10. Oh, Robbie Mac.
10, California 4. Yeah.
Beautiful comeback, I have to admit.
Yeah, pretty good.
Dang that. I love that. Edutech just said, ha ha ha, dang that conversion rate. Edutech, he just tells his wife it's 10 watts. Come on, Brian. I love that one. Mr. Buttram.
I'm huge in China. Which is not only...
Oh, there it goes. And Brian Weiss goes to Mr. Buttram, and she says 10 watts? Question mark? Oh. She knows it's only 2 watts. Oh,
huge in China. Yeah.
I'm huge in China, literally. Robbie uses his Canadian accent when he tells her. Oh. We just become the whole bunch of hosers. Don't you know that?
Who are the characters on Second City TV?
Doug and Bob McKenzie you're thinking of. That was done by Rick Moranis.
Yep.
And I forget the other actor. Take off, yeah? Yeah, you take off, you hoser.
Yeah.
Oh, who were they?
Yeah. Let's see.
Bob and Doug.
Google does with this.
Bob, B-O-B, Bob and Doug. Bob and Doug McKenzie. There we go. Oh, they even have their own
CTV.
I found this on the web.
Cool.
Rick Moranis and Dave Thompson were the two people.
Dave Thomas.
Yeah, the Great White North.
Not
Thompson.
I miss Dave Thomas. He was pretty funny. Is he still around? I don't think he died, but
Not sure.
He hasn't been in anything recently. He's probably still alive. That was my my solve for horrible Saturday Night Live in the early 90s.
No, he's still alive. He was born in 1974 to present. His
Really?
last movie.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. I had him off by a generation then. Wow.
Yeah, he's won a couple awards in the last couple of years. He's been in a couple movies too.
Huh.
Let's see. He's been in The Blacklist.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess he's just that good an actor that
He was in Brown Bear. He played a voice in Brown Bear too. He's been in Weeds. Let's see. He was in Pound Purple. He was doing voice for that show. Perception. He was in Big Bang. Bones. He was in How I Met Your Mother. He was in the 2013 season. He was in Bounty Hunters. I'm not sure about that one. And The Blacklist. Yeah, so he was in The Blacklist.
Okay, so he was in. Oh, he's been quite active. I just haven't recognized him. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's been in a lot of stuff actually, according to this. Yeah, the new Beachcombers, that show did terrible on TV. I remember watching that. That was horrible. Yeah, mostly just stays north of the border. Apparently he was born in St. Catharines, which is not that far away from me. Yeah, he has 4 children also. Yeah, well, there's a movie I haven't sat down and tried to watch again. Is Strange Brew. Supposedly that was the SCTV movie that didn't do that well. It was a weird movie.
Yeah, it was right up there with the Saturday Night Live. Some of the Saturday Night Live movies they did before Wayne's World. They had some pretty bad movies in there.
Oh yeah.
In between the good ones, the Blues Brothers and Wayne's World, they did. What did they do? I can't remember now, but they had a couple of them.
Yeah.
Well, Caddyshack wasn't an Saturday Night Live movie. It just contained all the Saturday Night Live and SCTV folks. But there is, whenever I find Caddyshack on TV, I always
watch it.
Try to catch it. Yeah, and I'll stop whatever I'm doing to watch Caddyshack. Yeah.
Yeah, Caddyshack I can never get into. I've watched it a couple times. do anything for me.
Oh, I enjoyed it immensely. I mean, it's really kind of, the humor is kind of but it's just a well done movie.
Yeah, I think movies for me is Ghostbusters for sure. Another movie for me was which you don't see anymore, which I still want to rewatch that to see how it stands up to the test of time, was Last Starfighter.
Oh, I didn't enjoy that one when it first came out either.
Yeah.
I think I was comparing it to something else and found it lacking. I mean, it's probably not a bad movie, but
Last Starfighter was pretty good, but I would like to see what the Blu-ray brings out, because they said they put in a lot of extra scenes that were edited from the original movie. The time restraints, which supposedly made the movie a lot better, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't tell you.
I think I was watching The Last Starfighter along with like Flight of the Navigator or something.
Flight of the Navigator I'd like to see come out again.
Right, and if you compare the two, Flight of the Navigator, much better movie.
Oh yeah. Compared to those two, yes. Flight of the Navigator.
That was the criteria I was using, which may not have been fair, but
yeah, it's kind of a little unfair because both of those movies are totally different genre, Yeah, they both involve aliens. Yes, they both involve flying, but Flight of the Navigator was more about a kid that got transferred through time as an experiment, where the other movie, which was not Flight of the Navigator, but
did he get transferred through time? I thought he got
transferred through time through a spaceship that was trying to load up all its information into his brain to see if his brain could store that information.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I was a kid when I saw it. Maybe I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
But
it was okay. Where Last Starfighter was about a kid that played an arcade game. It was that good at the game that he got transferred to fight an actual armada.
More recent movie that ripped off that idea from The Last Starfighter, and I don't remember what it was. Oh no, it was Stargate Universe.
Yeah.
They ripped off that same idea
to
get their little scientist kid on the show.
Yeah, there's a lot of old TV shows I would like to see them bring out, including, even though I know it sounds a little bit bad, it was a Disney movie. It was made for Disney. It showed on the Disney when they used to do those nights of TV movies. But I'd like to see Earth. Was it
Earth 2?
No, not Earth 2. It was supposed to be a TV series, but never came to be. A bunch of kids that had to go into space to go to another planet that was similar to Earth, and their job was to go there and get the planet set up as other ships were coming in from Earth to move there. I forget what the name of the show was called.
This
Star 9 or something like that.
There was a BBC series called Outcasts that was sort of like that.
No, this was made by Disney. I think it's called Earth Star 9 or something like that.
Oh yeah, there was something Earth something Star.
Yeah.
That was like early 80s, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. It sure is gonna last. But I would have liked to see remember the TV show Earth 2?
Yeah, I remember Earth 2.
I would have liked to see that survive. That would have been neat. It was a Steven Spielberg thing, actually, I think. Would have been neat. Same with Terra Nova. That was, 2000s or so. That was the one where they went back in time and had to... They were basically trying to mine history for resources. it was kind of weird, but very cool.
Okay, just pulled up their TV movie list. Television films. There we go. Let's see if I can find it here. It's closer to the 80s, 70s, 80s. Here we go. Sorry, Earthstar Voyager. That's what it was called.
Huh.
Earthstar Voyager was supposed to be a TV show that they were working on, and they were going to make it a TV show, and then it never got off the ground.
Huh.
But the idea was that the year is 2082, an Earth deep space exploration vessel, Vanguard Explorer. No, that doesn't sound right. There's the poster for it. That doesn't sound right, though. But Earthstar Voyager, basically, the idea was that Earth was dying, and they found another planet that was similar to Earth that would support life, but it was like 40 light years away. So they hired young kids and shot them into space to recolonize this planet, so that when the other ships arrive, everybody would be there. But apparently it was set up to be a TV series, but only became a movie.
Huh.
You know, the Earth is dying, they need to find a new planet, and that was the whole object of the whole show, was that they were sending these kids to go there. It was different. It was well acted, I think. I can't remember it that well, but it was like it worked out to be like a 4-hour episode. Like, it worked out to be like 2.5 hours, I think it was. It aired 2 nights in a row. Yeah, number of episodes 2. But they don't give the runtime of each movie, of each section of it. But I remember it being a double. Yeah, it says here that it was the show aired for 2 parts pilot, but was never picked up for a series. It was meant to be like a series they were working for.
Huh.
Yeah. But it was called Earthstar Voyager. If you guys want to look up the information, there's a really good article on Wikipedia for it, if you guys are interested in it. Paste. Try to put the link out there for you guys. But I remember watching that when I was a kid and enjoying those type of shows, and getting all that done. Back in the days. No, that's not what I want.
Full upgrade for Mark III.
What makes you think I want that?
Printed parts. STL.
Stupid thing. No. I just want to copy this part. Apparently, they have the whole movie up on. People have uploaded it to YouTube, so if you guys want to watch it, you can.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the ship design was interesting, though. I'll give them that. So if someone took the time, they could probably design the model of that too. There's something idea for Tanner to try to do.
Do you have a picture of the ship design?
Find the, get a copy of the design and see if you can
3D
make it.
You can throw up?
Pardon me?
You have a picture of it you can throw up here?
No, there's a video clip of it.
Oh.
Here you go. No, sorry. Back. Give me the opening credits at least. Has that 80s sound to it too. Paste. There you go, guys. Give you something to listen to in the background. It's a little loud. I warn you that at the beginning. But it's actually good quality video, wherever this guy got it from.
It's not sharing.
It's not sharing?
Not sharing.
There you go. I wonder why it's not sharing. Let me go look on YouTube what's going on. Facebook. Yeah, let me go into my channel and see why it's not showing it. It's loud.
Yeah, well, irritatingly, when I click on video in the that link in the go back in the pop out chat, it doesn't open it up someplace else.
Okay. Well, basically, the opening is a little bit on the loud side, We cannot do that again. You're listening to me in the background, yes, but you can go back in the video and rewatch this,
Is it going to let me turn down the audio? Come on. Okay, audio off.
Yeah.
There we go.
But as you can see in a lot of the scenes, you'll see the design of the ship itself. So.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
They took a lot of time to build that model, though. You can tell a lot of thought was thought into the idea of, because if you look at the bottom of the ship, there is another ship under it, docked under it. You can tell that they spent a lot of money on the design of that idea of this show.
So, did the show take place on the ship, or had they landed on the planet by the time?
No, it starts on Earth, where they're where they find out they've been ordered onto this new ship called the Voyage. I forgot what the name of the ship, and their mission was to go to this outer planet. Go to this planet that's like 40 light years away. It was going to take them like close to 40 years. They had chronic cyber sleep and all that other stuff. But they were destined to go to this planet, and that was their mission. And in the way, they ran into other missions that they had to partake.
Oh, I love the title. That was a font that I remember having on my Apple II.
Mm-hmm. Little thing about this video, that was done. The whole video, from what I remember reading, the playback of the opening was all done in a lot of the sci-fi work was done in a program was done with Video Toaster and Amiga.
Yeah, no, the Video Toaster was really the first thing that would do overlays really effectively and relatively cheaply. At least digital overlays. They were analog arrangements to do that previously, but
that was done on the Amiga to make the model was created out of clay. And you tell that this guy, whoever did the model, I think was told, this is going to become a TV series, so you got to make it as good as you can get it. And it's Disney money you're being paid. I like Edutech. You just said, stop yelling at me.
This stream is not for watching in the background. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, we do exciting stuff here. Oh boy.
We're spending 2 hours watching me print with the world's most horribly colored filament.
You know, I'm almost excited to stay on until this thing prints. I just want to see if it's going to work.
Right. 5 minutes.
5 more minutes?
5 more minutes.
I don't know if I can wait 5 more minutes.
But so anyone want to take bets as to whether this thing's going to fall off the bed before that?
Okay, Brian Vines, have fun. Extrude some filament for me, please. Maybe that's not the type of extrusions you want to play with.
Get it real hot for me.
Oh, hot steaming pile of.
Only the hot extrusion. The hot extrusions are the only kind that I want.
There you go, guys. You don't want to print with this. It's like everyone. Oh.
Everyone filament is people.
100% human remains.
And it's not edible. At least Soylent Green was edible.
Oh man, we're being evil people. Check your hot ends.
We don't recommend that you check your hot end in public.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it only in the privacy of your own home.
Anyone watched The Boys? I haven't watched it yet, only because I don't have my. I just haven't had time to look it up personally, but I heard it's good. And also the same thing with God Omens or Omen.
Good Omens.
Good Omens. That's it. Yeah.
Good Omens. Yes.
Yes, I have to watch that too. Good Omens. That's it. Omens.
Yes. Yes, The Boys was very good.
Don't ruin it for me.
Okay. But I will send you a link on Discord. It will help you.
Ah, what are those links?
Yes.
Ah.
I'm help you that way.
See, I have a little box sitting upstairs known as Raspberry Pi loaded with something called Kodi. And I know Kodi. Oh, okay. Good Omens. Yep.
You can probably find it with one of the Kodi plugins, but I don't know. I find the Kodi stuff to be more of a pain in the ass to work with than not.
Well, there used to be one I know for back in the day for the Android, which I had installed on my Fire TV stick. Allowed you, I think it was called Terion. 90% of this time, I only use these programs to find stuff that I can't find in the U.S. market. And I mean, there are some shows that I don't watch that are not from this country, but are subbed in English that I can't find. And it's like, I got to use these stupid search engines to go find these shows.
So speaking of shows that are worth watching, space-related shows that are worth watching, go find the BBC series Outcasts.
I've seen Outcasts.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Seen Outcasts. I've seen Killjoys, which is they're on their final season right now.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Here we go. Prince Overt. Anyone want to guess at how much force it's going to take to remove from the bed?
I'm thinking 50 tons of force. Doesn't your bed come off so you can just flex it off the bed?
I could, but I don't need to. Because it is dialed in.
Ah.
There is no elephant's foot on this at all.
Nice.
It is dialed in.
So will your bolts fit in it though?
They will fit, but the question is, will they be loose? So I printed this because I have a new set of bolts coming in from a slightly more reputable supplier. So we will see if they're better or not.
Yeah, I get mine through Amazon. I believe the brand is Hitachi or something like that. Or Hitachi. All I know is they're considered the best on the best. A lot of people rave about them. And my kit came with M3, M4s, and M5s. Which were different sizes of bolts. And then the nuts with them. Actually, I could probably go to Amazon now and pull up that link for you. Just log into my Amazon account of what I bought. And this is great. I can also go back to my oldest orders that I've done, you know?
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I switched Amazon accounts at some point. So I don't have my orders from 1997 and 98.
There it is. 500-piece socket set. Turn that to .com. And then I can send you the link.
Oh, interesting. Maybe I don't need a retaining nut.
Oh.
Look at this. It's not coming out. This is good.
Oh, wow.
But if I put in the retaining nut, I'll probably be screwed. Anyway, this is a test part anyway, so this is intended to be wasted effectively. It didn't occur to me that I should try that. But at the same time, then that would cause the belts to become randomly looser if it didn't hold.
So this is the kit I bought. If you type in A2-7 ISO, it's an ISO 7380 500p. If you type in M3, M4, M5 stainless steel screws,
I think
with nuts, you probably see it.
I think I've got the nut set for that, but not the screw set. Let's see what I got here.
Tallest ones that in that pack is 20.
Nuts, but not screws. Oh no, these are wing nuts because I needed a couple. I needed a wing nut, and I couldn't justify buying one. That's not very helpful.
You mean they did really bad this time, Jake? Ooh, that's not good.
So is this an issue of low quality nuts or not the right outer diameter or what? For outer dimensions or what? Let us see.
Hey, Jake, if you're feeling that way, let them know, because if you feel that they're not giving a good value for your download time, I would thumb it down and I would give them a comment about it. I only comment on videos I give thumbs down, or unless I really enjoyed the content, then I will leave a review information. But most times I don't usually give thumbs up, thumbs down, or a review because, well, I don't think it's needed.
We're talking Amazon or YouTube?
No, YouTube. But the first layer, Jake just watched it and he didn't like it.
Oh. Oh, interesting. It's this one bolt that's fucked up. That's the problem.
Apparently it's premium filament and they only use pure high grade virgin PLA. Well, hey, if you got beef with what they're talking about, then point it out to them.
I only use film farmed by virgins.
Everyone calling, he only uses virgin stuff.
So this is the problem. It's this bolt that I was using that's hosed.
Okay, EduTech. I'm actually going to call it a day. So today we watched Colin show us that, he made a mistake when printing, but
No, I didn't make a mistake when printing.
Well, you made a better part, you said.
I made a mistake in no, it wasn't the part. It was this bolt that not threaded correctly.
Ah, so it was a bolt problem. It wasn't a Colin problem.
Well, not a printing problem, but a bolt problem. Yes.
User error. Just kidding. No, but guys, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you all for watching. Colin, if anybody wants to follow you, what's going on? What's the best way
yeah, it's all Hill CT on YouTube, I guess. At some point, I will be ready to assemble my printer that I've been printing all these stupid parts for. I don't know when that's going to happen at this rate. But, okay, so at this point, I need a new one of these. That's going to suck.
And for me, guys, I got a couple of videos uploading soon. Like I said, Hamilton Maker Faire, also a mod I did on my Ender 3, which I have all the videos shot for. All I need to do is film one more piece, and that's done, and it'll be going out soon. So keep an eye out for that. And I've also brought back 50 prints back, and plus we're doing this Wednesday show. So lots of stuff is going to be soon coming down the pipe. I'm hoping soon. I've been super busy with this project, so once I'm able to get all those videos put together, and I'll shoot them down right away. So till then, everybody, remember, keep your eye on CMP. We're always putting out new stuff. And if you know someone that's interested in 3D printing, and you think my stuff is quality, please let people know about it. Let's build the channel up. But I want to thank you all for watching once again. Have yourselves a great Wednesday, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.